Very nice. Very nice.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to bring you guys a deck profile of the deck that I played for the Los Angeles Regionals and just give you an honest tournament report / review of how the deck played and, you know, would I play something like this again or not. But without talking too much, let's get straight into it. This is my KASHTIRA FIENDSMITH deck profile. Alright, so first off, the deck was a clean 40. The deck played very well, but you must sequence things in a certain way to get the maximum value out of your cards. Alright, so first up on the list for monsters, I played this god card, triple KASHTIRA Unicorn. This card was phenomenal today, just being able to rip extra decks multiple times. There was one point during tournament today where I went against a Malice player and I hit his extra deck for like 10 cards. It was crazy. I was wondering when he was just going scoop and let's go to game 2. But it was just crazy. This card is amazing. I love it. I have no complaints about this card. It did so much work, so much work. Next up on the list, I played triple Fenrir. Fenrir was also very good today. Just being able to get certain problematic cards off of the board like Detonator, etc., etc. Yeah, man, I would continue to play that 3. Very nice. Next up on the list, a friend of mine told me to run this little engine and I was trying it out. I played the Neo Space Connector. It was really cool for what it was, but in hindsight, I probably wouldn't play it again because it did not do too much mid to late game. With the one connector, I played the one Neospatian Aqua Dolphin. Aqua Dolphin is the main reason why this package works. You summon this guy, he special summons him. From there, you just start ripping hands. You can rip like 2 cards out of the hand because this card is an old school card, so it's a soft once per turn. You know, when it works, it's really good. It feels really good, but you're mainly trying to hit the problematic cards like Droll and other things like that. Like, that's what you're mainly running this for. Primarily because this engine was cool, but there was one point where my opponent had a nib in their hand and I activated this effect and I wasn't able to pitch the nib because when it comes to stats, this doesn't match up enough to be able to drop the nib. Like I said, it works when it works and it sucks when it sucks. So in hindsight, I probably wouldn't play this engine again. It was cool to try it out, but yeah. Next up on the list, of course, I played the FIENDSMITH engine. So I played 2 Engraver, the 1 Lacrima, and then the 1 Luri. Engine was really good. It's FIENDSMITH, nothing to complain about, nothing to say about it. It's FIENDSMITH, you know what I mean? It does what it needs to do. Next up, I played 1 Nib. The only reason I decided to play 1 Nib was for cross out. With this deck, you don't want to really lose your field presence. You want to keep your field presence. That's how you win. It's very much so a control deck. So Nibiru has a certain case in point, but in here, you really don't want to be getting rid of your board. Next up on the list for hand traps, I played triple Fualos in the main. It was really good, no complaints. And then next to the Fualos, I played 2 Perulia. If I was going against Malice, RARITY, or any one of those decks, I know that I had something to cover that. And then in the side, I had the other Mochummy in there. So this was really good. I had nothing to complain about, and it performed very well. Next up, I played the triple Droll. Got to play this card. It's everywhere. I got drilled every round in this tournament. I only allowed myself to stay in for 4 rounds because once I went X3, I was like, yo, I'm not about to keep staying and getting punched on, you feel what I'm saying? So though I got a lot of practice in, I was just overplaying the deck and I just was ready to make my changes. So I decided to drop. But for every round that I played, I got drolled, and for every round that I played, I used droll. This card is everywhere, you know what I mean? So if you're playing the deck, if you think they have droll, more than likely they have the droll. So just letting you know that. And lastly, for hand traps, I played 3 Ash Blossom. I was able to pick up 2 Euros today. But yeah, man, that was about it for the monsters in the main deck. Let's go ahead and get into the spells. First up on the list for spells, I played triple Tract. Since Droll is everywhere, I felt like I wanted to get straight to the Luri. Instead of having to go Engraver to get the Tract, then I get Drolled and then I can't use the Tract or any of my other cards. So I just wanted to get straight to the Luri because the FIENDSMITH engine in this deck is really the main win con. That's how you really beat your opponent down. That's how you really come back because you're able to just recur this engine over and over. But like I said, the reason why I ran 3 is just to get straight to the Luri and not have to worry about going Engraver and getting drolled because that you want to make that your first action. You get what I'm saying? I built this in one night and took it to regionals the next day. And by the time I finished finalizing my list, it was like 3 a.m. and I got up at 6:30. So, you know, I expected to make some misplays, etc., etc. But that's why we're rocking with 3 track. Next up on the list, I'm running 2 Pressure Planet. Pressure Planet was really good today, and being that we do run Droplet in the main, it's just a free card to just pitch, and it also baits out Ash. Playing this was a double-edged sword, but I liked it more than I didn't like it, and I love being able to pick out the KASHTIRA that I needed for that case scenario. Game 2, 3, I definitely sided out both of them, and I put in other potent cards, but yeah, man, Pressure Planet was pretty good. Next up on the list, I played 2 Droplet. Droplet was really good today. It was a god card. I was able to shut down a lot of boards and just respond to things a certain way. So I had no complaints about Droplet, and I was able to get 2 Euro QCRs today. So that's very nice, very nice. You know what I mean? Next up on the list, I played the 1 Rhoda. I played this for the Neospatian engine because they're both warriors and you could just search whichever one you need at the time. Game 2, I definitely side this out along with the other 2 guys. And then game 3, depending on what I'm playing against, I side them back in if I want to, like, you know what I mean? Like, just do little crafty plays. But yeah, man, would I run this again? No, definitely not. Next up on the list, got to run the Trinity, Call By, Talents, and Cross Out. Nothing to say about these cards. You guys know how good they are. End of story. And then lastly on the list for spells, I ran one KASHTIRA Birth, of course. I didn't run Theosis. There was times where I felt like I wish I had Theosis, but didn't end up running it. If I can go back, I probably would take out the Rhoda and put the Theosis in, and then also take out the other Neospatian guys. Yeah, man, man, Birth was amazing today. Lastly, for traps, I played triple Imperm. Imperm is Imperm. I don't really need to explain this. And we were able to swap out our American prints for Europrint QCRs. They look very nice, you know what I mean? Very dark skin, very dark skin. Yeah, Imperm. And then we played the one Fiendsmith trap. That's about it for the main deck. Main deck was pretty good. I had no complaints really, except the Neospatian guys. Originally, I was gonna play Regenesis in this, and I think I might still do that. I highly recommend, if you guys are going to tournaments and stuff like that, make sure you just like play test a lot with your decks and just know where you want to go and the different lines and sequencing things, obviously. But you know, sometimes you switch up decks at the last minute and you end up doing well with what you ended up switching into, and sometimes you don't. Today is one of those don't days, but nonetheless, very nice. Before we get into the extra deck, you know we got to showcase that very nice token. For those of you that don't know, whenever you see the very nice token in the video, just comment below and say very nice as a thank you for making the content. That's all I ask. Very nice. Next up on the list for the extra deck, I played 2 Requiem. Definitely had to play 2 Requiem because KASHTIRA Unicorn is running around rampant. And not only that, there's moments in the deck where you definitely want to go into a second Requiem. You'll have one engraved and you want to bring it back out. You won't really have a way to put it back or bring it out because Lacrima and Engrave will be in deck, or just some weird situation will happen, because it's happened to me today. And having a second one was just really good. Caught a lot of my opponents off guard when they thought like they were doing something by like getting rid of this or Bestial in it. And then I just went into another one. They were like, damn. That's crazy. Next up, of course, we got to play these guys. Agnumde, Sequence, Moon. You know what I mean? Like basic Fiendsmith stuff. Really good. Have no complaints. Next up, played the one SP. SP is SP. Y'all know what that does. Played the one Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel is always a boss monster. Sometimes you could just end your board with this and your opponent like has to figure out a way to really get over this if they don't have Imperm. So next up, played the one Typhon, the one Zeus. Typhon was really good because it allowed me to shut down Mitsurugi plays. Nothing too crazy to say about these cards. Next up, I played the one High Wave King Caesar. That's like a given. Next up, I played Evoza Lars. Never really went into this, but it was there just in case I needed it. I was going to put the Fiendsmith guy in, Rex Tremonde. I was like, let me go with this because having an Omni at any given point in time was cool. But yeah, I'll probably take this out and put something else in. Lastly, for the fusions, I ran Necroquip, one Snake Eyes Doom Dragon, and then I ran double Fiendsmith Desiree. This actually caught one of my opponents off guard. They were like, damn, you run a second one? That is crazy. Along with the Requiems. You know, we were like heavily dancing in Fiendsmith land today, so we had to run 2 of the Desiree. And then this guy was really cool because there is a point in time where you can end up with a Desiree with like a Requiem, a Sequence, and an Agnumde. It happened to me. And being able to just drop this guy to go for extra damage, not only that, just remove a problem card off of the board is just too good, because some cards you don't want to float and you don't want to go to the graveyard. So having this as an option was really cool. If it was anything I could change in the extra deck, like I said, I would swap out the Evoza Lars. But yeah, man, no complaints with like any of these cards. Really good. But that's about it for the extra deck. It was really good and performed how I needed to perform. Couple minor adjustments I would make, but other than that, played very well. Lastly, let's get into the side deck. First up, I ran 2 Artifact Lancia. I didn't feel the need to run 3 because I decided to side 1 Thrust, and the Thrust allowed me to get into the Sanctum. In hindsight, I'll probably just run a 3rd one of these and no Sanctum. Yeah, I actually never drew it, so I guess that's why you want to run 3, right? But I ran 2 and it worked out, you know what I mean? But in hindsight, I'll probably just go back to running 3 of these, no Sanctum. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Next up, I was running 2 Meows. I was just trying this card out and see how it worked. And today, there wasn't too many decks that, like, I felt like was summoning from the grave. Like, and then when I did actually play the card, it got ashed, so, or called by, so it really didn't do too much. But it's just a win more card. If you don't have this card, it's cool. You could just go up on Perugia, or, you know, just play other hand traps like Bell or whatever you want to play. But Meows is definitely not like a super needed card, and I do feel like there's other cards that do more than this card. So don't beast and kill yourself to get this card. Next up on the list, I played 2 Ghost Bell. I thought this card would be really good today, but it felt like very lackluster because certain decks didn't really need to special summon, like didn't special summon from grave. They just like, I don't know, I just ended up holding this card a lot in my hand. And then when I finally used it, it was just like it felt good to use it, but it just didn't do enough. So in hindsight, I probably wouldn't run this card in a side deck. It didn't hit a lot of cards. It didn't hit enough. To each is his own. Next up, I ran 1 Magnemite and then 1 Jewish Worm. These cards were a last minute call in the side because I did feel like they dealt with certain things, and a lot of people are still playing Fiendsmith, like myself. Being able to just get the Fiendsmith engine up out of there, or just like little combo extender pieces out of the graveyard and stuff like that, is still really good. And this still gets rid of the detonator, and this just searches like this, so why not? Next up, like I said, I ran Thrust, and for Thrust I ran 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Dimensional Barrier, 1 Sanctum, and then I ran 1 Evenly Matched. So these were all my Thrust targets, and everything worked out cool. Would I make any changes? I probably would put a 3rd Lancia in instead of this, because it's just a little bit faster. But that's about it for the side deck. Of course, there are changes that I would make. I always say in my videos, the side deck is always subject to change. So real quick, just to give you my round breakdown. Round 1, I played Fiendsmith RARITY. I 2-0'd them. It was like I don't want to say it was an easy matchup, but it was an easy matchup. That deck I have no problem with. Round 2 is Malice. A lot of my losses came from just me sequencing things wrong. Sometimes you just lose to things that are just like out of your control. Game 3, he went Shifter. I had Tracked, Ash, Talents, Imperm, and a Droplet. The only play that I had was the Tracked, and he went Shifter. And then after I passed my turn, because I went first, he was able to just go off and go crazy. So, you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that happens. Round 3, I played against Mitsurugi Raizyu. That deck is not hard to beat. The matchup wasn't hard at all, but I sequenced things wrong. For example, I went Tracked and I had a Unicorn in hand. And I'm like, yo, why didn't I special the Unicorn before I went Tracked? You know what I mean? Like, it's just little things like that. A mixture of fatigue and just like not having enough time with the deck to just implant the plays in your head, like just sequences and stuff like that, is what will contribute to some of your losses, which contributed to mine. So you live, you learn, you know what I mean? You can play online all you want, but you need to go to locals and you need to like play in person, so you just like get muscle memory of doing these things. You understand what I'm saying? So round 4 was Fire King. Wasn't a hard matchup at all. But again, just sequencing, and I just was like not prepared for them, because like Fire King can overwhelm you easily because they have board wipes and all that other stuff. With this deck in particular, there's nothing really to protect you from board wipes except Desiree by just negating whatever they use to board wipe you. But when they have multiple board wipes and they can like play multiple cards that pop, like Skyburn and all that other stuff, like it just puts you in a weird position. So once I lost my field advantage, being that the deck is what it is, the only thing that we have in the deck to like constantly recur is the Fiendsmith engine. Once they get rid of the birth, that's it. The deck is good, don't get it twisted. Like, the deck is good, it can do what it does, but it just cannot keep up right now, not in this state. You feel what I'm saying? So would I do it differently? Absolutely. But you know, that's how it went today, and I wasn't disappointed with my performance. I just wish I would have paid more attention and took more time to like muscle memorize these things. You know what I mean? That's about it for the video. That's about it for my tournament report. I hope you guys enjoyed. To everybody that came up to me during the tournament and said, yo, you're VeryNiceYGO, right? I watch your channel. I love your content, such and such and such. There was a couple people I was playing right next to or playing against. He'd be like, yo, I watch your channel, blah, blah, blah. You know, so it was really cool to meet a lot of you guys, and I'm definitely going to be going to more events, because this is really where you get to test your wits and test your, you know, your guts and just see what you're made of. So I definitely got to get out there more and really put the time in to like go to these events, and that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to make a separate video of certain things that you should be doing before you go to a tournament. I've had days where I played phenomenal, and I've had days like today where I played very shitty, and it was like a bunch of factors that contributed to it, but I want to make a video covering those things. But until then, I'll talk to you guys soon. This has been another very nice deck profile. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.